to talk about what big solar is doing to the villages and rural areas of the United States right now. For people in urban areas, or if you generally don't leave cities, I'm going to bring you up to speed in this video of what big solar conglomerates are doing to what is left of our farmland. I was notified this week about a town hearing coming up at the end of the month, which you can bet I will be at, in a neighboring town, Fort Edward, where there is a 750-acre proposed solar project. I'll put a picture on the screen to show you guys how beautiful this valley is. It is arguably one of the most idyllic, beautiful valleys in the area. People will quite literally get in their cars to go drive past this valley with their family to take in how unbelievably gorgeous it is in upstate New York and how proud we are of the rural character of this area. It's the very reason so many of us live here or have moved here, to endure the taxes and everything else that comes with living in New York State. That's one of the reasons why. A solar conglomerate out of Quebec has proposed, Boralex is their name, has proposed coming in and taking out the entirety of the valley. If you guys know the size of an acre, it's about 90% the size of a football field. So take that, multiply it by 750, and you should get an idea for how insanely massive and dystopian a solar farm of this scale would look like. Local conservation groups have already voiced their concerns, since that valley is considered a critical grassland habitat for birds and other endangered species in the area, including pollinators. These solar conglomerates don't care, and they don't have to care. You know why? The state of New York is overriding town boards to push through green energy initiatives. I want to break down in this video how not green a solar farm of this size is. I will first give a disclaimer here, because a lot of times people don't get what I'm saying. I have no problem with the idea of solar energy by itself. I own my own personal solar panel, as you guys know. I think it's great that people want to go off grid. I'm all for going off grid. That's not what I'm commenting on. I'm commenting on a land grab that is going on in partnership between the government of New York State, with our governor at the helm, and corporations that are getting green energy initiative money and tax credits that you and I, residents of New York State, have paid into. The state of New York is coming into town, local village boards, steamrolling them and basically saying, yeah, we understand you guys practice local democracy. We don't care though when it comes to solar energy, because we know more than you. We're smarter than you. We're going to push through our massive dystopian agenda so that we can tell our constituents we care about green and clean energy. Let me explain to you why this is anything but green. For a 750-acre solar farm, there will be chain link barbed wire fencing around the entirety of it. They can't let us regular plebeians get in there and possibly damage their solar panels, even though the hailstorms will take care of that on their own. That fencing will disrupt animal migrations in a way that is hard to even explain. Imagine taking out 750 acres of an area that animals were used to freely roaming around. For so many animals, 750 acres would be all they ever knew. For so many pollinators, all they'll ever know is 500 feet. So you're taking out critical habitat. Local conservation groups have brought this to the company's attention. They obviously don't care, because this isn't actually about the environment. In order to anchor the solar panels into a land mass this big, these massive solar panels will be anchored 5 to 15 feet into the earth, which will kill all of the animals that burrow in the earth or rely on loose soil to overwinter, like so many native pollinators do. To manage the weeds under the solar panels, before someone goes, but agrovoltaics is so amazing. They're not doing agrovoltaics here. They're just putting up the solar panels because this company wants to cash in on the green energy initiative money as quickly as possible. They are not doing this out of the goodness of their heart to make sure that this is a sustainable operation. To manage the weeds under the panels, the solar company will be using thousands of pounds of pesticides to kill the vegetation. That will also create a pesticide drift, which will impact everybody who lives around the solar project. Also, I'm sorry, I know it's really windy out today, but I was too fired up to not record about this, so apologies for any wind sounds or chicken sounds that you guys are hearing. All surrounding property values of the solar farm will go down by at least 7%. That's the only study available online. I would argue it is much greater, the reduction in property value that's going to occur. And since this area is a valley, meaning it's a low point between all surrounding land area and mountains, it's at the base of the Adirondack Mountains, so many different farms will be looking down on this solar field which will destroy the bucolic nature and setting of what makes this country this country. It's hard to quantify what looking out at rolling pasture and meadows and fields does not only for farming businesses and the value of properties, but for our souls as human beings. It's something that is hard to debate in a scientific manner, but it is something that needs to be mentioned and discussed. This will be the end of an era for this area. It will be the end of the farming way of life for thousands of acres of people, of farmers who have been in this area since the Revolutionary War. So many of the families up here in Saratoga have been here since the 1700s. This area is rich with history in the founding of our country. It's part of what makes it so amazing. And if you could only bring those people back today to show them what landowners are selling out to, I can only tell you how they would react to it. Someone's also going to comment, well, it's that landowner's right to do whatever they want. Yes, it is. It's also that landowner's right, when people used to have integrity in this country, to consider what their actions might be doing to the people around them or the people after them. In 20 years, if these landowners are dead, they're going, well, I'm going to go to my grave with 500K, screw you. That's going to screw over everybody in the area, their families, their children, their grandchildren after them. And it also brings up the question of a food autonomy problem. When we have finally sold our last acre of farmland in this state to these green energy companies, okay, we'll have our solar credits. Where's the food coming from, though? The final kicker. The power generated from these solar farms that are being pushed through by the governor, she's even said this, the power generated by them is specifically for New York City. I always liken this to a Hunger Games scenario. Our villages are like District 10 up here. They're plundering us, our land, where we grow our food, to send power to the capital, which in this case is New York City. It's Manhattan. Location change into the bunny shed to help with the win for you guys. We are District 10. They simply want our land to generate money for their green energy credits, to send it to data centers, AI centers, whatever they need it for in Manhattan. None of our power bills are going to be lower here. There's not going to be a single, oh, here's a credit, here's an extra $1,000 a month because you sold your land over to us. People write under these videos and go, well, we need more power. We don't need crap up here in upstate New York. We are a self-sufficient community of people. We are hardworking. We are farmers. We are people who are stewarding our land. We don't need crap. So if you need more power for your AI data centers in New York City, you need to generate that power for those data centers in New York City, which could easily be done by putting these solar panels on top of every building in Manhattan, over every highway heading to Manhattan, over every parking garage, over every failing mall, over every closed landfill. There are so many other places that these solar panels could go that would make a lot more sense. They could even generate shade for cars. They could even help with the amount of things that burn up in cars when people don't open the windows. If this was about actual sustainable energy production on a localized scale, none of this would be happening, and that's why I'm bringing it to your attention. I will leave you with this. I met another landowner near my farm just yesterday. Great group of people. They have been approached. They have a working farm. They have a working farm with multiple animals on it. They have been approached by Big Solar to sell their land to solar. So when people will say, oh, well, maybe the land wasn't being used. No. This is an active working farm, fully working. There's a lot of activity going on at this farm. It's a great piece of land. They have been approached by Big Solar to sell their land outright right away, right now, to get their check and walk. There is a structure, there's structures on this property that are 300 years old. There's a history you can't get back when someone comes in to steamroll it, to put panels on, to get the energy they need for their small group of oligarchs that hang out in New York City. This is a land grab coordinated at the highest level. It has to be discussed. It has to be mentioned. I don't care who this makes uncomfortable. I will not be silent about it. There is going to be a hearing at the end of the month about this solar project. I will be in attendance and I will be keeping you guys posted. I know everyone would prefer probably that I just be quiet about this because it might make them a little uncomfortable. For everyone out there who's pro-technology, pro-progress, they don't like to hear this either. They think I'm attacking the very technology of solar, which I am not. I am attacking a land grab that is going on right beneath our noses as we speak. When this land is gone, it is gone forever. And only then will the people in the cities maybe finally pay attention when the food they were accustomed to eating isn't on the shelves anymore. On a lighter note, I do break down on my channel here all of the different unconventional ways everyday Americans can buy farmland. This farmland is for sale. We are living in the largest wealth transfer of our lifetimes. It's in the form of land. $24 trillion worth of farmland is now changing hands over the next 15 years. Unfortunately, the state of New York and the governor knows that. I'm not saying we can stop every corporation from buying this farmland, but I do think we'll have a much better, brighter, and prettier future if everyday Americans get their hands on even 1 or 2 acres. I will link below to my Substack. I manage a weekly publication on there. I put a lot of time and effort into those articles. I've been recently covering how to set up eco-villages, how to use nonprofits to buy farmland, and how to even be gifted farmland, to just give you guys some examples. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to follow along. I will be reporting on all things green energy scams, big solar, what's happening in upstate New York, and the largest land transfer of our lifetimes right here. And no, we don't eat the rabbits on this farm. They are pets, but I do use their fertilizer in all of my gardening, and it is incredible. It makes for very happy and full and vibrant plants. With that, I have a lot more to scream about on here coming your way, so stay tuned. Bye!